about how we can teach fan art, and Rachel's going to start us off, and then I'm going to finish this up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be all right.
So Rachel,
Okay.
these are your ideas.
So here's a couple from me from different age groups. So the first one is kind of for every age kiddo, and you're creating your own fan art by copying the work through your peers' eyes. So you can either create the original character or going back to the idea of drawing on the right side of the brain, you can use your imagination to think up a character that you already know of, but then it might come out in a different way. And then you just kind of round robin it around and have everybody draw that character, but it comes out in their own style. So it kind of is like a game of telephone, but visual telephone, which is pretty cool. That's also a nice way of seeing how an image can change and adjust through different eyes, and also a way to kind of be thoughtful about looking for particular styles that a student artist might have, so you can use them as an inspiration source instead of just what you're receiving from TV or comics and so on. An upper level project that I do is in Style Of, which is a research and art project for high school students where they choose a particular artist and then research some of their stylistic choices. So in some ways it's less about replicating an existing work and looking at the entire body of work from a particular artist, and then looking for some of those key stylistic choices and thematic aspects, and then creating an original work with those as a guideline. So, you know, obviously you can go from like a really easy example of like Van Gogh uses the same kind of brush strokes, how can we apply that in a different way, to something that's a little more pointed and specific, or an artist that's less well known. So it's a nice way to, again, get out of your comfort zone as an artist, but then also to do some constructive research about the life and the intent and all those other things about a particular artist that works in the world. And then for younger students, I have a What Happens Next project, which is always really fun. So in this way, you look at an artwork and you have critique discussion with kiddos, and then they talk about some of the things that they observe happening. So details like, you know, who is in this image, what is happening in the image, how do you know, what are some other details we can pull out of it. And using those details, they will then draw a what happens next, as though it was the next panel of a comic in that way. In that way, they also are looking for some of those key stylistic details, observable details, and so on, but then putting in their own imagination, an imaginative twist on it, so that they're thinking about conceptually what actions or movements or so on will lead us to think that what happens next would happen next. And that can be also accompanied with some writing, which is really nice if you're trying to hit all those interdisciplinary categories. I also just want to point out, like, if you want any lesson plans or photos of any of these, please feel free to reach out to me or to any of us. Really, we're happy to share all of this content with you.
Exactly. And to that extent, like, these are some of the lessons that I've taught that involve fan art. So freshman fan art piece, I have taught high school before. I've noticed that when it comes to, especially incoming freshmen, they're very hesitant. At my previous school, a lot of them were kind of like very new to the school. They didn't really know a lot of people because it was solely a high school. So what I would have them do is they had to take a famous work of art and replace some part of it with a character or a famous celebrity from their favorite show, comic, book, movie, whatever, inserting that person or character into the work of art in some way, shape, or form. My immediate thought with this that I would show them is think of Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants, who always likes to do himself in every single type of medium and every single type of famous painting. The next one that I've done with multiple different grade levels is a little bit of a case study with Marvel versus Jack Kirby's Kids. This was a big issue a couple years ago when Marvel was about to be acquired by Disney. Jack Kirby's Kids came out and were saying, like, no, we want some of these royalties. This is when Spider-Man was on the rise. The students had to read the original article about this and answer prompted questions about who they think was right or who they think was wrong. I don't give any guiding answers. I make sure it's completely open-ended. I just give them the first article about it, and if they want to research it further, they can. The fun part about this is I tell them that if, like, whoever gets the top, like, not answers, but whoever gives me, like, some of the best responses, I actually get a chance to send it to the judge, who happens to be my mother. My mother was the original judge on that case, so I tell them, you know, I'll hand it off to the judge, and she loves it because she likes to give back feedback to those students. So it's a lot of fun. And she has come in and talked to the students about that whole issue before, and it's very interesting. And one of the last projects I do teach or have taught in the past is an idea of a final reproduction project where students are actually picking a famous work of art that was stolen from a selected time frame, and they have to recreate it to the best of their ability. So that goes back to the idea of copying someone as well. And a lot of those pieces that I make them pick are stolen masterpieces. So two of the biggest ones that I focus on are the if you think of Monuments Men, World War II, a lot of those artworks were stolen. A lot of them are still missing. That's still actually something that goes on today where they're trying to recover them. And then the other one is actually the Gardner Museum heist. That's another big one that's actually still open as well. So they have to pick something from one of those sorts of things, or if they know of another one, and they have to reproduce it to the best of their ability. And ladies and gentlemen, yes.
Okay, so I am a teacher and also a fan artist.
Yep.
And so a lot of artist alleys also, so there's an unspoken rule, but a lot of artist alleys follow it. A lot of companies won't mind if you do a small run of printed fan art.
Yeah.
They won't have a problem. The only people that really have a problem are Disney, and not all of Disney characters. Like
Yeah.
Mickey and those main
Oh,
characters,
God.
they have a huge problem
Yeah.
with.
Although Disney almost lost their copyright with Mickey a couple, like I think it was like
It
earlier
was
this
coming
year.
into public
Yeah.
domain, but then they snatched it back. It's because of Disney that we have the copyright laws that we have right now.
Yeah.
So before, everything used
Yeah.
to come up to public domain
Was
after
it
a certain
50,
amount of time.
every 50 years?
Yeah,
but
something
then
along those
Disney
lines.
was like, guess what, we want it for life, and we
Yeah.
changed copyright law altogether.
That's
Yeah.
how the fairy
But
tales
most,
were like.
most
Yeah.
artist alleys, if students, I work with young children, so
Yes.
my children are never gonna be, we're not never, but they're not at that age where they're gonna be selling stuff.
Yeah, I'm pre-K to 8. I'm pre-K to 8.
Yeah, me too. But most they'll allow a small run. So if you're printing if you're having 10 copies of printed fan art that you're selling in an artist alley, that's okay. So
Yeah.
when I used to do after school, I used to tell my kids, hey, I used to sell at annual conventions. I sold
Yeah.
at comic conventions. The second that you start going, okay, now I'm gonna have I'm selling
Oh,
books
yeah.
and stuff like that, that hits a gray area. So example, I worked for something called Hannibal. I like the show Hannibal, right?
Okay.
They did a fan art book where they put all the fan art together. They had to rush to get permission to do that because it won, we did, what's the thing where you not bid, but you give money
Auction?
until,
Shit, like an auction.
Auction?
not an auction, it was,
Charity?
no, GoFundMe,
Kickstarter?
but it got backed. So then they had to scramble to get the license okay to send those out, and then they say, okay, only but so many of these books can be printed. So
Okay.
up to a certain point, you could sell your fan art
Yeah.
and be okay, but again, you still have to make sure, if you're doing Mickey, and it depends on
Yeah.
what you're doing with the character.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not even gonna. We're not even
We're
gonna
not
go to
going
some of those
down
rules.
there. Yeah.
Let's not even go to some of those rules.
Yeah.
Moving away. But anyway, yeah, no, and that's something we touched on as well because all of us, at least both of us are fan artists. I'm also a teacher. She's done fan art as well. We're just going off of what we've seen in terms of our experience and from a lot of times we see, or at least I see a lot of people who go bring their designs, even if it's one of those things where you could do a limited run, but they'll bring it to places like, let's say, Redbubble or TeePublic or Etsy or something like that. And even though there are official pages that you can do fan art and not have any problems because they're on official pages such as For Fans by Fans, which used to be We Love Fine. They're big on having as many contests as possible. So. Oh well, but they have contests. That's the idea. You submit it. If it gets approved by them, and they have the licenses for Fans by Fans, they have the licenses to do stuff like that for certain companies.
DeviantArt will take your images, and then they can do whatever they want with those images.
Oh,
There's fine print now. You have to be really careful
Yeah.
putting your own stuff on DeviantArt.
Yeah.
Is that relatively new?
No, that's not relatively new. That's why I don't post there anymore.
Yes.
Does that only apply to 2D art or for 3D art as well?
Yeah, that's one of those things that I would think would apply. 3D art, it's hard to sort of mass reproduce. One of the things I do I do sculptures. I do custom figurines. I'm not gonna sit and try and and since I do everything by hand, I'm not gonna try and mass reproduce, 5 million like pieces of artwork. I know I've never had a problem in terms of my own like mini pieces. They're pretty much one and done. So I've never really come across a problem. I think that more, I would say, I don't want to say it applies more to the idea of 2D, but obviously when it comes to some of that art, it's one of those things where I would say just have a little bit of caution. So.
I just almost pop. They make their own pop.
And that's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Last question, because I know we're being told we got like a minute, so. Yep.
I was just gonna add on to that, like hypothetically, with the advent of 3D printing, do you think that they might open a case to look at this again?
It's certainly possible. I mean, I know I've seen a lot of 3D printing artists who do things like, I've seen like the Bowser, I've seen a couple of Pokemon, things like that.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit, while it gets expensive, that's still a little bit easier to mass produce than something like that's hand done, I would say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Remember, please take a copy of our presentation if you would like. Please grab a card. Thank you very much.